What is up, everybody? Christian Ballard here of Ballard Sports Media. Today talking about the Fiesta Bowl. We got two exciting matchups this year in the college football playoff. I know we're only a couple weeks off, maybe, what was it, 3 weeks from this past Saturday, I believe. But hey, man, everyone has been making predictions since like August for this. Even right after the championship, they started making predictions on recruiting and everything. So, I mean, is it really ever too early to predict these matchups in the semifinals? I don't know. We got some interesting matchups this year, though. We got the Peach Bowl, LSU, number 1, number 4, Oklahoma. Both won their conference. SEC champions, the LSU Tigers going up against the Big 12 champions of Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. I'll get into that in a different video when I preview the Peach Bowl, but today I want to talk the Fiesta Bowl. Number 2, Ohio State coming in 13-0. Number 3, Clemson coming in 13-0. According to the FPI predictor, Clemson has a 46% chance to win. Ohio State with a 54% chance to win. So you look at this, I mean, they're really high on both of these teams, mainly Ohio State. In my own opinion, I think in bowl games like this, and especially in the playoff and the semifinals, it's really anyone's game. Anyone could win it. As long as they bring their A game. And I think that's what we'll see here coming up. The semifinals, December 28th. I think the Peach Bowl's at 8 on ESPN. And I'm pretty sure this matchup we're talking about, the Fiesta Bowl, is at 4 o'clock. So what are we looking at? Clemson has a 46% chance to win. Ohio State with a 54%. According to the FBI predictor, we're looking at Trevor versus Justin. Fields versus Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, that name better ring a bell. He put it on my Tide back in January. You know it. And, he was favored to win the Heisman. I'm not completely sure if he's in the conversation right now, but Justin Fields is one of the main guys that you might see in New York. And I believe the Heisman Trophy ceremony is prior to the playoffs, so... but both these guys are really talented. I believe both are 5 stars, dual threat, pure, clean quarterbacks that, they got a lot of talent around them on offense. They can really mess you up if you're on defense, and, they can, find ways to make big plays and stuff, so... I'm really looking forward to this. The last time these two met was on this very stage. Not only was it a semifinal, it was, 3 years ago. And it was in the Fiesta Bowl. Clemson won that in a bizarre, well, not really bizarre, but, Ohio State looked so bad. They look like they should not have been in there to begin with. Clemson won 31-0. Went on to win the title 35-31 over the Crimson Tide. Let's look at some stats. Before we get to that, the opening line, Clemson is a 2-point favorite over Ohio State. I think that says a lot, man. That says something that says, hey, this is anyone's game. Someone's got to be the favorite, and I guess they're taking the defending champs of Clemson. 2-point favorite, that's really low. And, the thing about spread is the lower the number is, the closer the game should be, probably will be. I think it's going to be a close one. I mentioned the last time they met was the last time the Fiesta Bowl was a semifinal. Let's look at some stats. Ohio State, they're scoring about 48 points a game only allowing about 12 to 13 points. And they're playing in the Big Ten. That's a really, really good conference. That's one of the best, if not the best, conference in football right now. Offensively, through the air, 258 yards passing, 272 yards on the ground with J.K. Dobbins. Going to be a great running back in the NFL. And, he's just fast. He's electric. He will make you try to tackle him. He will get through tackles really well. So that could be key in this game. Defensively for Ohio State, they only allow 148 yards passing this year. Only allow 99 rushing yards, not quite 100 this year. So, obviously you can tell better at the run defense for Ohio State. And that's going to be key because Travis Etienne from Clemson, in my opinion, I'm just going to be real. I really think he's the best running back in this draft class coming up in 2020. Along with guys like Dobbins and Najee Harris, guys like that. So, let's see, 158 yards passing allowed, only allowing 99 rushing yards. Let's look at Clemson. They're scoring about 46 to 47 points a game, only allowing about 10 points a game. Offensively, 294 yards. Excuse me. Not 294 yards passing, about 252 yards rushing on offense. So, just like last year, Trevor Lawrence being who he is, balling out, making big plays downfield. You can say whatever you want about the ACC, but, it's not always about who you're playing. It's, can you be consistent with it? And Clemson off to a slow start. People started to wonder what was wrong with Trevor Lawrence. He didn't look like the kind of quarterback that he was against Alabama in the championship game, but he's picked it up, really well. So I would expect him to be, prepared for this Ohio State defense. I would expect him to come ready. Travis Etienne's probably going to be ready to go, and you're going to see a really good game. Defensively, this was the thing about Clemson's defense because they lost guys, Christian Wilkins, Clelin Ferrell, Austin Bryant, Trayvon Mullen. They lost, quite a few guys last year to the NFL. All the guys that have been with them since they started making the playoffs, been in the past 4 years or so. They are, obviously no longer with the team, and people started to wonder, this is a rebuild year for them on defense. And yes, they're right, but at the same time, they have guys that have really stepped up. I myself was one of the critics, not necessarily a critic, but someone that was, saying, hey, you just lost your entire defensive line to the NFL. There's some concern there. On defense, they have only allowed 138 passing yards and 106 rushing yards. So, when you look at it, compare it to Ohio State, 148 yards passing allowed and 99 rushing yards allowed. Obviously, in the pass defense, Clemson's better. They got the edge there, it looks like. Ohio State has the edge in rushing defense, so it's kind of a 50-50 on that. It's not necessarily like overall I'm taking this defense, but, obviously you got to look at it. I think it'd be tough to determine who has the overall better defense. So, I expect this to be a really close game. Now let's look at the keys to win. Let's look at the Buckeyes. I mentioned that, I mentioned the stats of Clemson's defense. Yes, they give up less yards against the run. But, man, for the Buckeyes to win, J.K. Dobbins, you got to give him that ball, man. He's fast. He's electric. If you could maybe get him to the outside, have him run around and Just find an opening, make big plays. J.K. Dobbins, he's got to run, man. You got to give him the football. Obviously, Justin Fields, you can trust him to run it too. If he chooses, maybe some quarterback draw in there. We got to air the football out, man. It's big games like this. You're going up against great defense, great competition. And you just know, hey, we got to get prepared. We got to do a whole bunch of stuff. You got to confuse Clemson's defense. They're young. A couple guys stepping up. I think they were second string guys last year. Some juniors and seniors that'll still go on in the NFL. Chase Young needs to bring his A game. He's done that all season. I think he was suspended a few weeks back. I think he suspended for the Michigan game, I think. He's going to be a big key, man. Y'all got to make sure he's bringing his A game. You got to put pressure on Lawrence and make him throw the football. Secondary guys, Jeffrey Okudah and all of them got to get open. They got to, force some turnovers. They got to, the secondary got to step up too. And, of course, on the offensive side, if you can get your receivers open, along with O-line blocking, make big plays down the field, be explosive. Fields, do what you've done. Throw that football out, to your receivers. And, just do what you've done, man. And if the O-line can block and make an opening and Fields can run it too, and, allow running room as well for J.K. Dobbins, that could be a big key to the matchup as well. And looking at Clemson, some keys to win. Throw that ball, man. Throw that ball. I just mentioned Ohio State's defense is better against the run than the passing game, right? Only allowing 99 yards rushing, man. You want to give it to ETN? Yeah. But throw that ball out. You got T. Higgins. You got Justin Ross. Guys like that can get open. They can make big plays. They're fast. They're electric. And you know how well Trevor throws that football, man. He's got to throw the ball that in this game and, just continue to make big plays. ETN can run too, obviously. But, man, if you're going to run that ball, that O-line better show up. You better have someone blocking Chase Young because he's going to come around the edge. He's going to try to trip up ETN, from behind or whatever. O-line got to show up, create blocking so that way Trevor Lawrence can be safe, air the football out, and to allow ETN to take off running. He's fast. You got to also, just confuse Fields with coverage. Confuse J.K. Dobbins as well, man. Niles Pickney and guys like Albert Huggins got to show up on defense and, attack that run game, man. I think it's going to be a close game. I think if these teams can follow these keys to win, Ohio State running the ball, blocking, and just making sure those receivers are open, they can win the game. If Clemson can throw the ball and air it out, and that defense can show up and, put pressure on Fields and Dobbins as he's running the ball, they have a chance. So, all right, it is time for the score prediction. The winner of the Fiesta Bowl going to the national title, in my prediction, is Ohio State, and they win 24-23 over Clemson. It's going to be a good game, going to be a close one. I figured maybe, a game-winning drive, maybe a late field goal to win it, whether it takes the time off the clock, whether there's still time for Clemson or whatever. If there is time for Clemson, I think the defense will show up and, just play well, man. So, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'm new to YouTube as well, so really appreciate you guys watching it. I'm looking forward to the game later on. I'm gonna do a prediction for the Peach Bowl, if I haven't already put it up or whatever. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.